Okay, what if I could tell you that my research could help you predict the winner of next year's 3-minute thesis competition? Pretty exciting, huh? How do we do this? We do it by building computer models that take advantage of the relationships between different variables to try and make predictions about future events. So, for instance, say somebody's spoken at lots of conferences before. Perhaps that's information we can use to suggest that they might be better at the 3-minute thesis competition. There's 2 ways that you normally build these models. The first is to analyse historical data. So we can take a whole bunch of information about past participants, feed it to a computer algorithm to try and decide what the relationships between different variables are. The second way that you can build these models is to take experts like this panel of judges in front of us, and you can ask them, who have a wealth of knowledge and information and intuition about what makes somebody a good speaker and more likely to win the competition. If we can somehow take that information and put it into a model, then we can also make predictions about who's going to win. The type of model we're going to use to predict our winner of next year's 3-minute thesis is called a Bayesian network. These are probability-based models that deal particularly well with uncertainty, which is very important when you're trying to predict future events. Now this is where my research comes in, because to build a Bayesian network to predict who's going to win next year's 3-minute thesis competition, we'll typically take this panel of experts down here, we'll have some sort of roundtable discussion where we get everybody together in a face-to-face interview. We'll train them up a little bit about what a Bayesian network is so that we can then ask them the correct question to take their knowledge and then turn it into a model. What my research is doing is it's replacing these face-to-face interviews with an online survey. This survey asks very concise questions and takes less time to answer than a typical face-to-face interview. It can be answered over the internet, so people can be in dispersed locations, and it doesn't matter if they're all together or not. Additionally, what this survey does is it allows us to facilitate or simulate the discussion between experts that you would have in an interview by conducting the questionnaire in phases. So at the end of each phase, we gather together all of the comments and responses of each participant, and then we pass it at the beginning of the second phase so that the experts can then get a feeling for what sort of thoughts and responses the other experts were discussing when they were answering similar questions. The end result is that hopefully we can have more experts contributing more expertise and more knowledge to make better prediction about who's going to win next year's 3-minute thesis competition. So sure, while this technique could be used to build models about predicting cancer diagnosis or perhaps about making predictions about crime rates, we can all sleep easy tonight knowing that, like so many other jobs in today's society, this panel of experts in front of us might be replaced by a computer next year. Thank you.